And here we are, welcome to Sfax. This to me is probably one of the friendliest cities I've seen in the world. So the first thing I notice here is it's really hard to get a taxi. Now, in my experience, it's kind of hard to get a taxi anywhere around here, but at least in the other cities I've been, Bolt works. Bolt is like Uber or Grab, this kind of thing, but doesn't work in Sfax. So you've got an absolute ton of taxis. It looks like almost every other car's a taxi, but they're all in use. So, looks like I'm going for a walk, but that's okay. You get to see a bit more of the city that way anyway. Heading towards the central area now. Here we go, welcome to the north side of Sfax Medina.
Hello guys.
Immediately a very different feel around here. I just got a taster of this when I was arriving in the Luage yesterday. It seemed a lot busier then actually, but yet to make it to the real kind of central side of the Medina here. And somewhere up here there should be a fish market. I see one of the northern entryways to the Medina behind me here. We'll go into that a little later on. Okay, certainly not the fish market at the moment, but definitely the local market. This is a lot of meat around here, the butchers. Very traditional sort of style, just everything hanging. Sheep's heads there, all sorts of offal. And camel heads there. This is absolutely the real deal. I love coming into these sort of markets where the locals go, not the ones just set up with a tourist tat, but the real place where people are actually shopping for their food. This is where you see the life of the city, always. Okay, well, I haven't found the fish yet, but there's certainly a clothing area as well as the butchers. But then there's still a bit of everything around here. I saw someone getting a beard trim, I saw a place selling washing machines and kitchen goods. And then wandering out this side, we got what looks to be the fruit and veg section. Okay, and this certainly seems to be the fish market here. It's so vibrant around here. You got all the fruit and veg here, people shouting, people around everywhere, people trying to say hello, although I don't speak a word of French, unfortunately. But yeah, let's go through here. Well, these grapes are absolutely massive. I've never seen anything like it. Oh, this is epic. If you've been watching my last videos, you'll know I love a good fish market. As I say, really where you see the local life, and you're guaranteed stinking feet afterwards. But hey, it's cool. Well, yeah, welcome to Sfax. This is actually a fantastic way to start. And would you believe this is not actually yet the Medina, but I do see a Medina gate behind, so let's take a little bit more walk around the market and get into the Medina itself. Seem to be heading out of the vegetables and fruit and meat and all that sort of thing now. A lot more spices and nuts. Seem to be very clear, distinct areas in this little market area. And there we go, through that market into more market, but actually through the Medina gate now. Wow, what a place. Now the Medina here in Sfax is actually fairly small. It's only about 400 by 500 meters squared, but as usual it's contained within these incredible old walls. And what you notice immediately is it's not tourist focused like some of them, like when you walk into the one in Tunis for the first time. This is a really local vibe, and it's so hectic for it, but wonderful at the same time. So I found almost a little bit of calm space down here in the Medina. It's a little bit quieter here. And we get an inside section just here. A lot more dark, but hopefully a bit more cool because it's really hot today. Okay, this little inside section here seems to be housing clothes and carpets and all this sort of thing. Hello. And friendly people saying hello everywhere. Gotta love that here. Just so much colour in here, it's really beautiful. And from outside it just looks like a dark passageway. And at this point I can see I must be right in the centre of the Medina. This is the Grand Mosque just to the side of me. Now, the interesting thing about this Medina is it's actually laid out in a grid pattern. Unlike most Medinas where it's just winding alleyways, you never know quite where you're going. For once, I actually shouldn't get lost in this one. I'm just doing a little loop around the Great Mosque right now, see if I can find a way to have a look at the courtyard here. I understand that it should be possible for non-Muslims, but I can't find any entranceway, so I'm not sure this is going to work out. But you got all manner of shops around here. There's a shoelace shop just by me, jewellery, spices, all sorts. This is one fascinating Medina. Well, I've been in one big loop around the Great Mosque and unfortunately it's not open at all right now, so that's a bit of a shame, but I certainly don't mind wandering around here. So I must be close to coming out the other side now, and it really does just feel like one massive souk. Yeah, there we go. I can see the Medina walls just ahead here. As I say, friendly people here. Good to meet you, man. Well, it's so friendly around here, and people don't mind being on camera. And there we go, the big gate out to the new city, where I was actually intending to start my video. We'll talk about that from the other side. Kind of the wrong way round, but this is Bib Divan, the main entranceway to the Medina on the south side. So this was originally built around the 14th century, but it was actually destroyed by bombing in 1943 and it's been completely rebuilt to the original style. And after going through the Medina, it's so strange seeing it at this angle. You go through those little streets and nothing looks that big. And then you see the Medina walls from outside and it's huge, like some massive fortress. Now coming out of the Medina right there is really the point of the city where the old meets the new, where the old Medina meets the new city built in the days of the French Protectorate. Now there's not many buildings actually left from that time, but the town hall here is absolutely one of them. But still, there's beautiful wide open spaces here, this lovely paving beneath and beautiful buildings. It just feels so different. And this side of the city really has that more kind of European feel and the cafe culture, which I could really do with right now because it's lunchtime. Yeah, I really feel like I'm in France right now, at least if France was having a heat wave. Ah, there we go. It's just great to have a welcome break in here. Coffee and a croissant. But of course, this still isn't actually France. There's a guy right by me shouting on his phone and smoking. Welcome to Tunisia. And that's pretty much as far as we can walk in this direction to the new town. We've come to the port. Now Sfax is a city by the sea, but it's not a beach city. This is a port city. And this big commercial port behind me really shows that. Not somewhere we can really walk around. So not really so much to see around there. Let's head back through the new city, see what else we find on the way back to the Medina. Now the ground floor of the town hall here is actually home to the city's archaeological museum. It's pretty small, but it's home to a collection of Roman, Byzantine and Punic antiquities, but what it's really known for is the beautiful mosaics. Now sadly, it's actually closed up at the moment for renovation, but the guys here are super friendly, as everyone seems to be in this city, so I'm getting to see anyway. Medusa. Oh. That's a mosaic of Medusa. That's absolutely beautiful. I'm so privileged to be able to see this. And this on the wall up here is Daniel in the Lion's Den, the famous mosaic they have here. Okay, thank you, my friend. People are so lovely here. Just gave me a little showing of the mosaics, even though things are closed down here. Really appreciate it. Thank you. Sometimes walking around with a camera like this gets you shouted at. Other times it opens doors. And this was definitely an example of the latter. It's so lovely when you get a little private tour of somewhere closed. But yeah, I'm loving the hospitality and friendliness of Sfax. It's a real surprise. Just walking around the eastern side of the Medina walls looking for a way back in. I think I've found one about halfway through. One of those times where just putting the camera away for a moment seems the best course of action. This entryway is very, very different from the main entrance ways and the tons of people around there. Okay, definitely getting out of that quiet eastern side now to the market area, more in the centre. Okay, pretty much in the centre of the Medina now. The grid-like streets make it super easy. The number of people make it somewhat more difficult. I'm trying to get down to the southwest side now to have a look at the Kasbah. Okay, there we go, there's the main gates again. Let's not go out of them though this time, let's head west. Found this little cafe here right up in the Medina walls. This is such a welcome break. It's getting so hot at this time of day now. Well, there we go, nice fresh lemonade, just what I need right now. It is getting so hot, drenched in sweat here. But I'm really surprised about Sfax. I was really in two minds about whether to even stop here and make a video or whether to just carry on today, but I'm so glad I stopped. This is really a great place to spend a day. Wow, it's a real bare bones little market area down there selling clothes. This is just on the western side and we're just at the Kasbah now, and Kasbah Museum. So the Kasbah Museum here in the southwest corner of the Medina gives an insight into the history of the Medina. Not just the fortifications, but also the religious buildings here, the mosques, the mausoleums. And it's also the one point I know where you can actually climb the walls and the fortifications here, just to have a look from above. So we're right by a tower here, let's go in. Okay, hello pigeon. This seems to be the home of a pigeon here. And wow, look at the stairway up to the top. Well, you know, it's not like I'm not going to climb up there. Of course I am. Ah, what a disappointment. I guess this is as high as we go. Okay, there's more. Still let me walk along the walls here. And so it takes us along to this tower here, which seems to be dedicated to the history of the Kasbah itself, so this fort that we're in. So supposedly this dates back to the 9th century, and this originally used to be right up against the sea, acting as a watchtower over the old city. And I think we might be able to climb up this one. And sure enough, here we are, right up on the high point, the tower of this fortification. So it's really quite an incredible view. Up here at the top of what is the tallest tower in the Kasbah, you get to see, of course, over the Kasbah itself. You see the Medina walls, you see the Medina, you see the minarets of all the mosques around here, and then that's all set against the background of the high-rises of the new city, really standing out against the buildings of the Medina. Strange place, you just get to walk along the rooftops, by the wall here, but still, it's kind of the only place in the Medina you can, so why not? Okay, so I'm heading back through the Medina now, and there's a place that numerous local people have been telling me is the place around here to be going for seafood. So, I'm gonna go and check this out right now. How can I not?
أشهد أن محمد
That was a fantastic little detour. The history in there was incredible. Feel thankful for being let in there. But anyway, back to the mission of finding this restaurant now. And at this point, I'm thinking the grid system isn't quite so obvious as I thought it was earlier. It should be really, really close to here, but I'm in this little courtyard and I can't quite find it. Yeah, having huge problems trying to find this place, but a selection of very friendly locals are trying to help me. Well, if I do end up there, I can safely say it's pretty far from where Google thinks it is. Wow, I can't believe how wrong Google got it. This nice man has just walked me pretty much halfway across the Medina. If there is one thing I guarantee about today, it is not going to plan. I finally get to the famous restaurant and it's only open from 1 till 3. Gonna need a plan B, guys. Okay, completely not what I intended, but I've ended up in another little place here right by the Great Mosque. I think it's not really open anymore. They've run out of fish here, but the owner welcomed me in and I'm getting what I'm given, so let's just see what that is. Absolutely wonderful view. I'm looking right out on the minaret of the Great Mosque here. As always in this city, they seem so friendly. I love this place. So here we go, finally getting a bit of food. Okay, well, the surprise food has arrived. So I've got a bit of a salad here with tuna and then pasta with a tomato sauce and a fish. I'm not quite sure what the fish is, couldn't really translate that. Alright, from the appearance, I'm still not really too sure what this is, but hey, let's give it a try. It looks delicious. Whoa. Oh, that's really nice. Wow. Super fresh, not fishy at all. Comes out really, really citrusy, and then you get this lovely, lovely spiciness on your tongue in the end. Oh, that's fantastic. Okay, it might be shark. Supposedly dangerous fish with big sharp teeth. Gonna try and find out a little bit later on Google Translate, but for now, just gonna eat this. This is fantastic. Yeah, really just great, great flavour on the fish. Just not fishiness at all. Clearly, clearly fresh. Really nice texture on it, perfectly cooked. And it really speaks volumes about Tunisia and the city of Sfax when you walk into a restaurant that's not actually open and you get fed this. What a place. Okay, there we go. So confirmed. That is actually baby shark. And it was absolutely delicious, so thank you so much.
Yeah.
Really appreciate you feeding me.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yet another amazing experience here. Right, I'm pretty worn and definitely very, very full. It's time to get out of the Medina here, get back to the new city. And I noticed a lot of places in Medina are really starting to shut down, or as you see where I am right now, have shut down. It doesn't seem that late. I wonder whether the Medina really is just a kind of early in the day thing. But here, walking back through the food market, still definitely some life down here, but much quieter than it seemed earlier in the day. Earlier on, you could barely walk through here. And there we go, back out past the huge grapes and the fruit and vegetables. Back to the new city side where I'm staying. Now after earlier, I kind of given up on taxis. I'm just going to walk back, but that suits me just fine. And there we go, that was Sfax. You know, this is one of the things that I absolutely love about traveling. Sometimes you just go somewhere not expecting it to be that great, and it absolutely, absolutely goes way beyond your expectations. Sfax is one of those cities. This, to me, is probably one of the friendliest cities I've seen in the world. Now, there's not that many big hitting tourist sites here, but even if there was zero, just come here for the people. It's well worth it. I've had a great time. And I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, please like, comment, subscribe, and I hope to see you next time.